Then we will go to take the answer for the question number 3. Right. What is the question number 3? Right. Question number 3 is, what is the type of biomolecules in which hydrogen and oxygen atoms are combined in the ratio of 2:1? 2:1 biomolecules. Right. In the grade 10, we learned about as the unit 1 what is the biomolecules. Biomolecules mean organic compounds which build up our living body. Right here we learned about 4 types of biomolecules. No? What are the 4 types of biomolecules you learned? One of them is carbohydrates. Second one is protein. Third one is lipids. And fourth one is nucleic acid. Those are the biomolecules you learned in the unit 1 of the grade 10. Right, here you learned about under the carbohydrate, you learned about elements contained in the carbohydrates. In the lipid also you learned about elements contained in the lipids. Right, under the protein you learned about elements contained in the protein. Under the nucleic acid you learned about elements contained in the nucleic acid. Now when we consider about the elements contained in the carbohydrates, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Lipids also made by carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Now when we consider about the protein, protein is made by carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. Right here you learnt about a special point. Sometimes maybe contain sulfur also. Sometimes maybe contain sulfur also. Right, and also under the nucleic acid you learnt about elements contained in the nucleic acid. Right, so what are the elements contained in the nucleic acid? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and phosphorus are the elements contained in the nucleic acid. Are the elements contained in the nucleic acid, right? In this question asked from us, what is the ratio between hydrogen and oxygen of the carbohydrate? Right, most easy question. Right, so how to take the answer for this question? Right, here. Now when we consider about the carbohydrates, under the carbohydrates you learnt about common formula for the carbohydrates. Common formula for the carbohydrates. What is the common formula for the carbohydrates? Right, common formula of the carbohydrate is CxH2O Y. This is the common formula of the carbohydrates. Right, now when we consider about the hydrogen and oxygen contained in the carbohydrate, what is the ratio? Right, the ratio between the hydrogen and oxygen of the carbohydrate is 2:1. It is similar to this, no? Right, therefore the more suitable answer for this question is answer number 1, carbohydrates. Answer number 1, carbohydrate is the most correct answer for this question. But when we consider about the lipids, the hydrogen and oxygen ratio of the lipid is much higher than 2:1. Much higher than 2:1, right? And also, right, in the protein and nucleic acid, hydrogen and oxygen ratio is not 2:1. You must keep remember, especially keep remember the hydrogen and oxygen ratio of the carbohydrate is 2:1. Right, to take this answer I used common formula of the carbohydrates. What is the common formula of the carbohydrate? CxH2O_Y. Right here hydrogen and oxygen ratio is 2:1. Right, now you could understand how to take the answer for the question number 3 of the 2022 O-level science English medium paper. Right, then we will go to take the answer for the question number 4. Question number